What is this?
Your cooked
Is this his favorite character from each region? Wait, should I do that? Wait, I want to do that. Top 3 from each region? Okay. Mondstadt definitely has Kaya. Definitely has Bennett. Where is the bozo? He is. And definitely has... Does Mondstadt have 3 likable characters? Maybe it doesn't. Oh, Venti! Yeah, Venti. Yeah, definitely Venti. Albedo's pretty likable. Maybe to you. I don't think he is. Alright. This is based on personality? Yeah. Liyue. Why is Arlecchino in red? Oh, because she's Niznaya. But she's Fontaine! I don't know, man. Technically, she's not. We're not talking about where she was born. We're talking about where she was raised. And that's Fontaine. I don't care about your Conrayon bullshit. Ooh, wow, cursed. Wow, ah. I don't give a shit. Okay? Her home is Fontaine. That's what matters. Who's likable in Liyue? Also, I don't think I'm gonna do Nalan. Xingqiu? No, Xingqiu's not likable. Xingqiu's broken. He's not likable. I don't play Xingqiu because I stan him. I play Xingqiu because I like having a good time playing the game. Yeah, probably Beidou. But like, here's the thing. Yeah, Yunjin definitely. That's fair. Yunjin 100%. Where is she? Yeah. The thing about Beidou is like, I feel like the Archon quest really ruined her for me. Like, I don't know if I vibe with someone who would be willing to... Because, like, in the world of Genshin, okay, a vision is basically a gun, okay? And Beidou's just willing to give a gun to anyone just because they're strong. They win the tournament. To me, that's kind of... Was that more of Kazuha's idea? Yeah, but, like, she's okay with it. So, like, I don't know. It was an inactive vision, though. Yeah, but the whole point of it was to try to reactivate it. Yeah, like, to me, that conflicts with her characterization as someone who cares about, like, the children of Liyue. Like, no. If you're selling guns to strangers, you don't care about the safety of children. I'm sorry. You don't. And, like, looking at her characterization, how it's written outside of that, I think she would be here. But with that, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, if you're willing to give very, very powerful... A very, very powerful weapon to someone on the premise that only they are strong, to me, that's, I don't know. It makes me like her less, for sure. And, like, it's fine to have a character who's a villain or who's irresponsible or whatever. I just feel like it opposes her written characterization, right? I think Shenyan is pretty likable. I disagree. Is Shenyan likable? Honestly, I feel like I don't have anything negative to say about Shenyan. I guess Shenyan and probably Gaming. That's probably it for me. Is this 4-star only tier list? Listen, okay? The reality is that 4-star characters tend to be... There tends to be a lot less of an active effort by the devs to make you simp for the 4-star characters. Because they're not really selling you them as much. And personally, when the devs are trying to make me sim for a character, it makes me dislike the character a lot. Right? It's the reason I don't think I'm ever gonna like Ayaka or Yoimiya. Right? I forgot Sucrose. No, Sucrose is just not that likable. Okay, this is the hardest part of it, because I have to find 3 likable characters from Inazuma. And that's hard. Probably Kuki, Ito, and Toma, maybe? Yai Miko, good one. Where's Sarah? Definitely not here. Alright, Sumeru. Sumeru, I feel like there's more likable characters to choose from. But it's probably Dea, Candace, and then probably between Tifnari and Kaveh. Pretty much everyone was likable. Farazan exists, man. I don't know if Wanderer counts as Sumeru, but Wanderer exists. Al-Haytham exists. Dory exists. Taino exists. Like, let's calm down a little bit. I'll go Kaveh. And finally, Fontaine. Wait, this is actually hard. Okay, Risley for sure. I don't think I like any other Fontaine character. I mean, I guess Arlecchino. But the third one is rough. Navia? I don't like Navia. upon her introduction, I kind of liked her because I liked Silver and Melus a lot, and then they died, and now I just don't care for her at all. I think her characterization without them is just boring. You're like Navidad or Furina? No, they're kind of boring. Absolutely nuclear take. Listen, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just a little bit difficult for me to feel for you because I don't know if I want to open this kind of worms. I still perceive Furina's backstory as her convincing herself that she needed to act the way that she did in order to pass as the Archon, which is, well, you've seen how the other Archons act. They definitely don't act like Furina's acting. Okay? Like, she did the things she did because she forced herself into it, not because she actually had to. She hasn't met the other Archons, sure. But her backstory is basically her putting herself in a tragic situation. Which is like, it's still sad, but it's a bit less compelling for me. She did it that way because her audience, Fontaine, liked it that way, yeah. And an actual Archon would not bend to... I don't know. It's... I know that she did it... I was paying attention, okay? I know what happened. I understand that it's because there were a few people that were like, huh? That's not how an Archon should act. And I maintain that if she just didn't listen to them, it would have passed. And part of that is because of the way they decided to show the story. I thought the... Because, like, the way they showed this in the story, she basically did a fucking 180 on her behavior at the first fucking sign of resistance, right? It's not like there was actually doubt creeping up in the population. There was just, like, 3 people in the audience that said, That's kind of weird. Why are you so different from the last Archon? Right? Like, that was what made her change her behavior. And, like, you can make the argument that's just them showing the situation poorly, right? It's based on her on her interpretation of what happened, and like, whatever. Sure, you can make that argument, but to me, that's not a convincing argument. Like, to me, they made it too short. They made it happen too quickly. So basically, you've never dealt with insecurity. That is... What? I have never dealt with insecurity that way. Sure. I have never done a complete 180 on my behavior and started being an annoying little shit because I was insecure. The point I'm making is her plight was self-inflicted, or I think it's a valid interpretation of the story that her plight was self-inflicted. And it is the interpretation I choose to stick with. And with that interpretation, it's kind of hard to care about much of her situation. Like, yeah, it is sad, and I did think it was sad, but I don't think it's that compelling as a story I'm witnessing. Odegaard was self-inflicted to an extent, but not consciously. So yeah, I'm not saying it was conscious. Even if she acted more normal, it would still be 500 years of pretending and being alone. Sure. And that's sad. You find Sethos not likable? I don't really have thoughts on Sethos. I haven't done the quest yet. So I definitely can't put him up there. Yeah, maybe it's Chiori. I guess it is, sure. The majority of these characters are awful. Damn. Oh yeah, actually Chiori is from Inazuma. I guess that doesn't count. Fuck! Bro, no one's likable in Fontaine! Sijuin? How do I say this nice? See, I would like to be able to explain why I'm not a huge fan of Sijuin by talking about the parts of her personality that I don't like. But it's hard to talk about something that doesn't exist. To be fair, I guess that is, compared to the other characters from Fontaine, that kind of is top 3, maybe. Chevreuse, I definitely don't like Chevreuse. Charlotte? She's so annoying, though. She really is so annoying. It has to be Navia? No! Clohane? Also no! It might be Lynette. Actually. I don't really like her too much, but I feel like the parts I dislike about her, I feel like are intentional. Like, it's... Yeah, obviously, like everyone else, I think she's kind of a fucking asshole. But, like, she's written that way. Like, she's supposed to be an asshole. She's the, like... I don't know what how to translate this expression in English. Pince sans rire. She's deadpan, like, all the time. And she kind of cares, right? Like, she cares about her brother, and she somewhat cares about, like, her family as a whole. But honestly, not as much as everyone else. And, like, I don't know, man. It's whatever. I don't mind it. I really think the reason I don't like Furina is because of the storytelling around her, though. Like, if they told the story in a way that I found more compelling, I probably would put her up there. But I just refuse to, because I don't know, man. I don't think so. What about Neuvillette? I actively don't like Neuvillette. I think he's just one of the most boring character tropes. Like, not a single character flaw, he's just learning how to be human, whatever. Who the fuck cares, man? Make him actually make mistakes. Make him actually a flawed character. Make him get angry. Make him get... Like, I don't care. Just make him... Make me feel like he's feeling anything. Lack of social skills is a flaw? I mean, not really. Like... He's characterized as lacking social skills, sure. But when he's interacting with other people, he's polite, he's kind, he cares about what they say, and is curious about what they mean. That's not someone who doesn't have social skills. That's just someone who's new to socializing. He's very, very good at socializing, man. Like, every time we see him socializing, he's doing it in a very good way, you know? Big flaws, he lacks conviction sometimes. Okay, but I guess what I'm getting at is there a single flaw of his that is shown in something that happens between the time we arrive in Fontaine and we leave? Because to me, people talk about him being socially awkward, him having flaws. Not the one we meet, maybe in the past, but that's not the character we meet, you know? And I find that very boring. People find Kaya likable? Yes, because balls. What about top 3 Natlan designs since we don't know their personality? Well, considering we have 3 Natlan characters, gee, I wonder. Gee, I wonder. Why Kaveh over Nahida? I don't love Nahida. I don't know, man. Again, it's... I think the reason I don't like Nahida is very similar to the reason I don't like Furina. And it's because of the way that her story was told. Inazuma left an incredibly bad taste in my mouth. And when the reveal of what happened between, like, with Nahida and Rukadevita happened, I was just sitting there like, this is way too similar to Inazuma, man. Can't you guys come up with a different idea? And then when it happened in Fontaine as well, with Furina and Fossilors, I was like, okay, guys, really? And then when it's gonna happen in Natlan, I'm gonna lose my shit, okay? Like, I get it, okay? They're trying to build upon, like, they're trying to reflect the Traveler and their twins' relationship of being the same person but different with what the Archons were encountering, and it's supposed to be this, like... But I don't know, man. It has to be compelling, it has to be written in an interesting way, and I feel like it just... And starting with Inazuma... definitely just ain't it, because Inazuma is just so not good to me. What are the most compelling quests / series of quests writing-wise in your opinion? I mean, I've talked multiple times about Venti's quest, about Tichnari's quest, as like the best character quest. Care Bear, probably the best quest overall. What makes me like Venti? If I were to be forced to live in the in Tivat, I would definitely want to live in Mondstadt under Venti. Like, people talk about him as this irresponsible drunkard motherfucker, but like, every time something bad actually happens, Venti's there to fix it. He just also respects the people and gives them freedom. And I'm not too familiar with the old fucking lore with Dicarabian and shit, and maybe he was a little too absentee in the past, but that's not the Venti we meet. He just likes to drink casually and people think he's a drunk. Oh no, he's definitely a drunk. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that inherently makes him irresponsible. Oh really, Sparrow? Well, that's kind of pog then. Even more of a reason to like him. I don't know. I feel like Venti's the best Archon and it's not even close in terms of like characterization. He's by far the most likable out of them. If I were to actually interact with the Archons, he's the one I would get along with the best. He'd offer to buy me a drink. Well, he'd offer to have me buy him a drink, but like, you know, drinking buddy. Like, we take those, right? I don't know, I feel like Venti really is the peak of Archon writing. And I think the way that Venti's characterization is juxtaposed with Zhongli's characterization is what made Genshin's story so compelling to so many people early on. Despite Inazuma not having the best story, it's still the region I felt the most hype for. That's fair. Inazuma was the first real big expansion we got outside of Dragonspine, which was a big expansion, but didn't give us like that much Archon quest content or like have that much lore of its own. Like Dragonspine lore is very intertwined with Mondstadt lore in general. Right? Like I agree. I was also very hyped for Inazuma before it came out. That hype just quickly dissipated because Inazuma did not live up to my expectations. Do you think Inazuma was bad because of the pandemic, or was it something else entirely? I mean, that might have played a role. I don't know. Like, from my perspective, the parts of it that were bad were, I don't know, like the story as a whole, like the plot was weak, the storytelling, the characters, pretty much every part of it. But I can't know why it was weak, right? Like, I can't know if fucking employee 37 in charge of storyboarding Ayaka's story quest didn't get enough time because they had to work from home and didn't get to, like, I don't fucking know. That probably played a role, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a role. Lun music is so good. I don't want to be spoiled, but I heard it was really good.